Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
It's amazing how many people will follow you just to tell you how terrible you are. And I was like, well, why are you following me? Think that's Twitter.
I know it is.
Think about that.
I feel smarter not being on.
Think about following people that you don't enjoy following.
Now, look, I like
People
stirring
are
stuff
looking
up
for a
as much as anyone. I mean, you guys know that. But some of this stuff on Twitter, it's like, you people are just looking for a fight. Bo could say the sky's blue. Somebody that doesn't like Bo, my God, that's a black sky.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo
There we
show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I wonder if all these Notre Dame fans who thought it would be cute if Duke beat Virginia and brought chaos to college football Saturday night, I wonder if they knew it was going to be their team that took the shaft the next day.
Clearly not.
I don't know how many people thought that was going to happen. Notre Dame's livid. The Fighting Irish fans are, they're upset.
They're not used to this.
No, they're not. Time was, if Notre Dame, all things being equal, Notre Dame always got the nod. Best player on Notre Dame, Heisman favorite. Notre Dame, 10 games, they're going to be playing for the national championship. That's how it once was.
That's why a lot of us don't like them.
Well, I'm
ones of us that grew up with that.
I will be honest. I was stunned when Notre Dame was left out of the playoff yesterday. Stunned.
I don't have any problem with Notre Dame now, but when I was younger, growing up,
I was the same way.
You were either a Notre Dame fan
Well,
or
you were pulling for the
everyone
underdog.
else.
You were pulling for the underdog.
You like Notre Dame, or you
That's
liked
how it
everybody that Notre Dame was playing. You'd rather root for them. And it is interesting that they've decided not to go to a bowl game, and here we go.
Think about this. Notre Dame out, James Madison in. That's where we are in college football right now.
Well, that's one
That's
place
where we are.
That's one place we are. We've been talking about this for weeks. We don't like the group of 5, slots in the playoff because you don't have the best 12 teams. And I want to see the best 12 teams. And there'll still be controversy with that. But there are so many teams that would absolutely annihilate James Madison and probably Tulane.
2/3 of the SEC, 2/3 of the Big Ten.
Ole Miss already did,
Yeah.
by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
and they got to play them again now.
Yeah, it's crap, man. It's crap.
Crap, man.
It's crap,
Good
man.
Monday morning. It's crap, man. How you feeling, Bart?
Barn went
I
3
feel
for 3
awful.
on
Well,
locks.
while you're feeling awful, just give it to us. The college football playoff reactions. Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
Really? You wanna do this now?
Well, I mean,
Everybody wants to hear it, Bart.
you were
That's why
on
people
point.
are up early. That's why they're up early.
You were right there on the X on the floor. You came out. You're ready to go.
Yeah, look, the committee did a horrible job.
A horrible job.
Like because none of their logic for any of this makes any sense whatsoever.
Talk to me.
Now I understand that there's like there are certain things they have to do just because they have to do them, and that's the way the contracts are and the TV is and everything. It's all a joke, man. But like first, let's just talk about the committee first.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Like, who the heck are these people?
Well, they're people.
That's about
How
all
many
you can say
times was
about
the
them.
college football
That's about
playoff
all-
committee Googled yesterday?
A
I
million.
Googled him.
A
Bo
million.
did. You
Well,
did.
I went-
Edward, you Google him?
Like
We
I,
all did.
I
4
went
for
and
4.
looked up who these people actually are and decided after looking at that who put these people on the committee. Because like these are not people who should be on a committee selecting the best teams in college football. Period.
Which one do you not like the most?
Well, would you like me to go through them name line by
yeah,
line?
why not? I was doing that on the plane on the way there on Saturday.
Yeah, because you didn't know who they were.
Well, I knew some of them, but I didn't know others.
Chris Alt is a 78-year-old former coach who was at Nevada 3 different stints.
He walked out of the room yesterday. I'm standing by the elevator,
mean-
and he walked by me, and I said, "Who's that?" And I pulled out the list, and then it clicked. That's a guy that's 25 years older than his profile picture. That's Chris Alt.
In his day, he was a very respected football guy. I did not know he was on the committee. I do remember him when he was a coach.
Now he's probably, I mean, look, with all due respect to him and his knowledge of the game, I mean, he's not watching 10 o'clock games at night. He's asleep.
Yes, he is. He was
He's
too.
asleep.
He did leave the room early.
Well, I mean,
though.
you can watch him later. You can watch him later. You don't have to see him live.
Troy Dannon is in his second year as the athletics director at Nebraska, where they've had just a tremendous amount of football success. He was previously the AD at Washington and before that at Tulane.
He knows it when he sees it, though.
Mark D'Antonio, I think everybody knows who he is, but I mean, cool, a Big Ten guy.
He's
great.
got a lot of time on
He's
his
at Michigan
hands
State.
right
He
now.
had success at Michigan State.
but-
He was a
He's
good coach.
Mark Harlan is the Utah athletic director. He's a guy who was fined by the league for yelling at officials earlier this year. That's a guy I want in
He's
the room.
passionate. He's
That's a guy I
passionate
want in the
about his,
room.
he's passionate about the game.
Jeff Long, the former athletics director at Kansas, Arkansas, and Pitt, who frankly has not seen a lot of winning football. Ivan Maisel is a former sports writer. Chris Massaro is in his 20th year as the athletic director at Middle Tennessee State, where they have never once been good at football. What's that guy doing on the committee?
So you have to have a good football program to be on
You
the
got to
committee?
know good football. and I think running a good football program should be a prerequisite for that.
Really?
I mean, you can't have guys from Middle Tennessee State, Miami, Ohio. With all due respect to Virginia, in the year they had the
due
Virginia AD. I mean, like Mike Riley, another former West Coast coach. Cool. Wesley Walls is a former tight end at Ole Miss. What the hell is he doing on the selection committee? A former tight end
Is he
at
a
Ole
college
Miss?
football Hall of Famer?
I believe so.
Well,
Yes,
it's got
but
a little something to do with it.
still, but he's not a guy who should be helping decide who the 12 best teams are in college football.
You just want him to call you?
I'd do a better job than all of them combined.
Maybe they should check with you
Yeah.
before they release
I mean,
this
like
stuff.
this, like none of this makes any sense. Like Indiana's number one, that's fine. Indiana's number one. Okay. I don't have any problem at all with that. Why is Ohio State number 2 instead of Georgia? I'm gonna need somebody besides Hunter Yurachek to explain that one to me. Like why in the world is Georgia behind Ohio State in these rankings? Ohio State finally played one good team and got beat. And I thought Indiana was clearly the better team throughout that game. Georgia should be number 2. I don't really have a problem with Texas Tech number 4. Do I think they're the 4th best team in the country? No. But you know, that's the way the chips fall. They're the Big 12 champ with one loss. Oregon at number 5 is an absolute joke. That is
3 of the top 5 from the
that's-
Big Ten, Bart.
That's the most overrated team in college football this year, and it's not particularly close. I would argue that Notre Dame would run Oregon off the field.
Run 'em off.
I think BYU might beat Oregon. I think Vanderbilt would definitely beat Oregon.
What about Texas?
I think Texas would beat Oregon. The most overrated team in college football, and they're number 5. I would have A&M ahead of
About
Ole
Vanderbilt.
Miss.
Would Vanderbilt beat him?
That's what I
Oh,
said.
you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first team out of his mouth.
Okay. I'm lost in the
Yeah.
pageantry of it.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
I'm-
it's the
you know,
presentation.
Alabama. Let me just say.
Oh,
this.
here we go. Here we
Now
go.
we get down to the actual.
Yeah, let's get to the
controversy
Alabama, Miami, Notre Dame. thing.
Alabama
9, 10,
under
11.
no circumstances should be in the college football.
Are you
playoff.
kidding me?
They should not be.
Why?
They've been horrible over the past month of the year.
Horrible.
They have. They've not been good. Hunter Yurachek sat there and praised them for a great win over a bad Auburn team.
Rivalry game.
You were singing their praises 3 weeks ago after they ran through that midseason gauntlet.
and then they took the foot off the gas and they stunk over the last.
You almost
month.
said suck, didn't
Yeah,
you?
I did. Yeah, I did. I decided to clean it up a little.
Oh man.
Look, and apparently different rules apply to Alabama, right?
Well, it's always been that
so
way.
A loss in week 1 matters for Notre Dame, but Alabama's loss to Florida State doesn't matter. A conference title game loss mattered for BYU, but it didn't matter for Alabama.
Alabama's got a far superior schedule to BYU, but that's keep going.
Right, but I don't think it's fair to not penalize.
I don't even think BYU should have been the second team out. They should have been like the 15th.
Well,
team
I don't necessarily disagree with that, but when you have this system where these teams are getting ranked week after week after week, and then you just randomly, haphazardly look. On November 4th, Notre Dame was 6-2 and ranked number 10. Miami was 6-2 and ranked number 18 by this selection committee. And somehow Notre Dame goes 4-0, winning by an average margin of 38 points per game. Miami goes 4-0, winning by an average margin of 28 points per game. Notre Dame plays 2 teams Miami played and beat them worse. And somehow Miami shoots all the way up from number 18 to pass Notre Dame.
It's like he got Notre Dame talking points. It's like he got the talking points from him this morning.
Like, it's just nonsensical. And it takes any and all credibility away from the selection committee. The way they do this, the way this whole thing operates. Look, I think if you ask anybody who actually knows football, they will. We obviously know the 12 best teams in the country aren't in the playoff, with all due respect to Tulane and James Madison. We know the 12 best teams in the country aren't in the playoff. But anybody who knows football will tell you the 10 best teams in the country are not in the playoff.
Well, that's all they had to choose. They just had to get the top 10 teams.
Right, and they failed.
So who should have been in that's not?
Well, Notre Dame should have been in.
So that's it.
Notre Dame is one of the 5 best teams in the country, and they're not in the playoff.
But what I'm saying is, in your opinion, that's the only thing they got wrong, besides where they're actually ranked. But as far as the top 10 teams, Notre Dame being out is the only real issue you have.
I think it's an egregious issue.
But it's the only issue you have.
I mean, I would
like other than that, forget where they're seated.
Right.
You're saying that's the issue.
Boils down to it, yeah, sure.
In Bart's defense there, I mean, it's not just that one of 10. I mean, there are 2 others. And so when you look at the big picture, and I think this is where a lot of people have a problem this morning, is not necessarily, some have a problem with Notre Dame being left out, others don't. The problem is that 3 of the 9 teams, 2 of them we know don't belong. And the 9th spot is being widely debated. And I think for a lot of people, they're looking at 25% of the bracket that they think's illegitimate. Now, I'm not saying I necessarily agree with them about the Notre Dame part, but you can't gloss over the fact that the bracket is what is messed up. It's the parameters that allow teams to get into the bracket. You can't just wipe that away. This is not representative, I don't think, of what actually, the state of college football is. First off, I don't think 3 of the 5 best teams are from the Big Ten. I don't agree with that at all.
0 chance.
And I don't think that either James Madison or Tulane belong anywhere near a 12-team playoff. Now, my overriding takeaway is 12 is the wrong number. 12 is the wrong number. I personally think 8 is the right number, but I know I've lost that battle. Not that I was, fighting it, with a lot of vigor anyway.
I saw you in the lobby holding a sign.
Yeah, but
the Gaylord Texan Resort. There you were.
But 12's the wrong number. It's either got to be 16 or they got to go back down to 8. If you're going to have the automatic qualifiers, if you're going to have the automatic, if you're going to have the James Madison and the Tulanes in there, if you're bound and determined to get them into the playoff, you got to go to 16 teams.
Kenny's brother Bob Chesney is going to coach the Fighting James Madisons.
I know.
And
Sumrall's coaching Tulane too.
Can Kurt Cignetti run a program or what? He's got Indiana at the top, and he's got James Madison at the bottom. He's got bookends in the playoff. He
does.
Kurt Cignetti's running college football right now. He's going to win the whole thing. We got to take a break. It's 6:16. Bart's on fire about the college football playoff. Beside himself.
They're awful.
He's beside himself.
Awful. Horrible.
He wants to run the committee. Back in a minute. Good morning. It's Monday morning.
I'm amazed at the number of people who think they're smart.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Distribution Solutions Incorporated began providing superior customer service back in 1997 based out of Harrison, Arkansas, and they're supporting our local communities today and always looking for professional OTR drivers. DSI knows drivers by name. They're about their people, and when you work with DSI, it feels more like a family than a job, and they know home time matters. If you're a driver, check out their website, drivedsi.com. All the benefits, all the vacation time, and that home time that matters.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I've been brain dead for 2 days.
I
Some
know.
people would argue much longer.
Well,
but I mean,
it's
if
been,
I my
it's been
own
noticeable.
personal standards.
It's been noticeable,
Yeah.
really, the
I
last
know,
couple
it's
of
just
days.
like, ugh.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, we just jumped deep into the weeds.
For
this
those
morning.
wondering, the argument did continue during the break. And Bart was just as
The entire break.
Bart was just as enthusiastic off the air as he was on the air.
You're really disappointed in this selection committee.
mad as hell.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not stewards of the game.
There we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They're not stewards.
Let's
of the
take some
game.
personal shots. You
Well,
want to?
no,
I mean,
don't
come
wanna- I
on.
don't
Let's
wanna
take some personal shots at him.
It's just very clear to me. It's clear to me that there a couple of things are true. A couple of things are true.
Yeah. What are those?
Alabama was never going to miss the playoff.
Oh, never.
I
Okay.
think they could have lost the SEC championship game by 50 and still been in.
Who would you replace Alabama with?
Notre Dame.
Well, okay, but you don't want Miami in either. So who would you replace them with?
Vanderbilt is better than Miami.
Okay. Is it like who's watching Vanderbilt play in the playoff?
Well, I think a lot more people than are going to watch James Madison or
Who
Well,
won the
yeah, but we
Texas-
can't talk. We can't. We could make that point, but like that was
Sure.
part of the rules.
Right.
Like they're
right.
in.
It's,
Like, we-
yeah.
Did
yeah.
Vanderbilt beat Texas or the other way
No,
around?
Texas
I forget.
did. Texas. I hate that I'm saying this.
Okay.
Texas is better than Miami. Texas should be in over Miami
Well,
too.
if Vanderbilt's in, Texas is in.
Right. What I'm saying is if you take Tech like that, that's fine. Like take your pick of those teams. They're all better than Miami. They're all better than Miami.
I don't
I
disagree
think
with
a
that.
couple of things have happened here. I think the committee relies too much on facts or data points, bullet
Facts.
points.
Those pesky
Well,
facts.
like not. You know what I mean?
You
Statistics.
misspoke.
I got you.
Statistics,
Yeah.
and data and that stuff, as opposed to watching ball. And I know they watch a lot of games, but I don't think they put enough emphasis on who actually looks like the best teams in the country, like who the best teams in the country really are, which was the whole point of expanding the playoff in the first place, because people felt like the best teams were getting left at home. And so if that's the case, then you have to make sure you get as many of the best teams, the group of 6 teams notwithstanding, as you can. So I think that's one thing that's happened. Look, and I will say this.
Please do.
There's just a little bit of me that's like, who runs the college football playoff? Does that company have ties with the SEC and ACC? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Is this corrupt? Is the whole process
SEC
corrupt?
Alabama and Miami were never going to get left out of the playoff, and that's become very true to me. But they're not 2 of the 10 best teams in the country. So,
But Notre Dame is.
I think Notre Dame's probably the 5th best team in the country. I think Oregon is probably around the 10th best team in the country.
You think Oregon's
Maybe-
better than Alabama?
No. I mean, I think that's part of the issue with the committee and their rankings.
I got
Oregon's
you.
not the 5th
Okay,
best team
I
in the
got you.
country.
It's not just the committee. I mean, if you look at the AP poll, you have the same
Yeah.
stuff going on. They've got Oregon at 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not stewards of the game.
Not stewards of the game. I will say this, Bart. I had this thought randomly, maybe yesterday. Remember when they had the first committee and they put the first committee together? Remember?
Condoleezza Rice.
And we had on the old show, we had Bill Hancock on the Gasano's Pizza Hotline. Because Bill Hancock would always talk about the pizza when he would come on
That's
the
right.
show. And then when I would see him places, he would bring up Cusano's
Can I
pizza.
get some of that
He's
pizza?
like, I got to try that pizza sometime. Nicest guy in the world, Bill Hancock, right?
Right.
Well, I got into it with Bill Hancock that day on the show, and I'm like, who are these people that you're putting on the committee? And to the point where I texted him later, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't know what got on me. Like, I was just verbally assaulting this man on the show, like day one of the committee.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't understand like the mix of like people that are going to evaluate football.
It was ceremonial.
Listen, College Game Day gets it wrong every week with their picks. They get on there and they know football. They watch it, they study it. They have, Desmond Howard, Saban, Pat McAfee, Herb Street. All the producers involved. They're doing all the work, and they still get their picks wrong. They don't bat 100 or 1,000. They don't, most of the time, bat 500. And these are the guys that know football. It's always going to be subjective no matter what, because you're not going to get a group of people that watches football or is without bias the same way. Everybody's a product of their past. Wherever they spent time, it's like you talk about with SEC experience being important. There's a reason that you say that, because there's certain context that just comes from being around this league. Other people are from other parts of the country. They see things differently. We're always going to have this subjective process. I think the committee actually came as close to getting it right as you can. I mean, but what is right? What is right? Even if we go 1 through 12, the best 12 teams in college football, we're like, if we just did rankings and we didn't have these automatic qualifiers and we just said these are the 12 best teams in college football, there's still going to be an argument at the end.
Subjective.
There's still going to be an argument at the end.
It's not a good system. It's just not a good system.
Well, that, as I was saying a little bit earlier.
But it's better than the BCS, I think, or what we had then.
It's more
Maybe
interesting.
The computer should still pick the team.
It's more interesting. But I still think, and this is kind of, we were talking about, or I was talking about, I don't think 12 is the right number, and I would favor 8. I still don't see more than 3, maybe 4, really 3, that I think qualifies perhaps the best team in the country. And the playoff has become, getting to the playoff has become the prize in and of itself. And not that it's not a great accomplishment. It certainly is. But the purpose of the BCS, the purpose of all of this was to crown a true national champion. It was not to argue about who the 12th best team in the country was. But that's how that's what it's morphed into. And when it expands to 16, which it will, we'll keep arguing about it. But I still think most years there's going to be 3, maybe 4 teams that really have a chance to win it.
Well, that's the playoff. It's set. We'll do the brackets. We'll do the times. We'll set you up with that. We'll listen to how Notre Dame responded. Are you disappointed with how Notre Dame responded, Bart? I know you're mad as hell they didn't get in. Are you disappointed with how they responded versus how Vanderbilt responded?
I would say that if that's how the team and the players responded, like if they voted that they didn't want to play in a bowl game, like I don't necessarily have a ton of issue with that. If it was an administrative decision or something like that, then I have a lot of issue with it.
Well, I think it's probably both. Have you noticed they do not have enough teams to fill out all the bowl slots? There are 7 teams that went 5-7 that have qualified for bowl games based on their academic progress report, and they all have turned down the bowl bid. They all have turned down the bowl bid. Yeah.
Dal took one.
Yeah. Well, part of this deal has to do with money, because back before NIL, these players, every player wanted to go to a bowl game because you got mileage money, you got all kinds of perks, and it was the only time you could pocket cash, and it was one of the times you could pocket a lot of gear. And there was value in going to even the most minor of bowl games. There's no value to it now. They've already got plenty of gear. They're already getting paid.
Unless they're getting game checks.
Like
if they're being paid per game.
And that may very well be the case with a lot of them. And I'm all, whatever you got to do to get them to play, I guess I'm for it.
You need to do deals like that from now on.
Yeah.
If you haven't.
But my point is there's not the value to the players and the kids in going to a bowl game that there once was, unless it's obviously a playoff game. But now that it doesn't even – but when it doesn't matter to the head coach, don't get mad when a star quarterback says I'm not playing either.
Well, yeah, because they're meaningless games in terms of what they mean in some ways. Like, obviously, you're not going to advance in the playoff. Like, So why would you play in a bowl game and risk getting hurt before you go to the NFL, for example? But now we've gone way beyond that. Like, why are we going to play this extra game?
Right.
Which means, like, what are we playing college football for? Like if you can't get in the playoff, why are you even playing?
Well, and that is one of the dangers. And I can remember talking about this way back at the inception of the BCS. It got so much attention on ESPN. It was like either you were in contention or you weren't any good. And it's even more so now, I think, with the playoff, the way it's set up.
Chuck and Bo show at 6:30 on a Monday morning. We're brought to you by Drive DSI. Log on to their website, drivedsi.com. That's Distribution Solutions Incorporated. Always looking for professional OTR drivers. They know their drivers by name, not by a truck number. They know their families, too. They consider you family when you drive with DSI. They know home time's important, vacation time, benefits. Log on to that website. Check it out today. DriveDSI.com could be a great fit for you.
Or you speak like you're the only smart man breathing.
I take that as a compliment, I think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com. When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Chuck has thoughts.
I want to have some coffee and let you guys roll for a while. This is going to be good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I can't figure out if Chuck's playing a role here, or this is how he feels, or if he cares at all.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's a fun time in Central Arkansas over the weekend. Basketball Razorbacks. I know people were watching football at home and maybe watching basketball too, but a good weekend all the way around.
This team is playing pretty good defense when they're struggling to score. You know, if the shots aren't falling, which happens to any team. Cal talked about that after the game. It was an impressive victory.
It was a good second half.
82-58.
Yeah, the first half, they kind of slept.
Yeah, it wasn't a great first 10 minutes of the game for sure.
Guys missed wide open shots, and it's okay. I'll say it again. They're not machines. They're not robots. They're going to have that happen. The question is, will you defend and lock down good enough to stay in the game until you start making shots, which is what happened today.
You know, there was a feel in the building, kind of like what we experienced last week or earlier last week when Arkansas beat Louisville. In fact, I had 2 or 3 people from Central Arkansas comment to me about, man, we sure did need Wednesday night. I mean, in everything. I mean, just as an entire state, we needed our spirits lifted a little bit. Felt that way inside the building on Saturday. Silverfield was there. Got a nice ovation. I think he'd been down most of the day in Little Rock, met with some boosters, as you'd imagine, and pressed the flesh and got a nice ovation. And as always, when Arkansas plays basketball down there, man, you see the people. I mean, the folks that talk about the Razorbacks every day, maybe not necessarily the most well-heeled boosters, but you see Arkansas people there. And I always love going down there for that reason. And it was a good day all the way around. Good day.
This is our capital. We are the state's team, and this is our capital. That's why we come back here and play out of respect. We understand. And so the fans here, again, we're great. This is a great environment for my players.
I saw Silverfield mention War Memorial Stadium in his opening remarks at his press conference.
He knew where he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look.
From the hill to War Memorial Stadium.
It's we do get caught up in the debate over where they ought to play their football games, or should they even play a single game in Little Rock. And we've argued about that since the late 90s, and we'll keep arguing about it, even long after the issue's decided. It's just one of the constants in our state is we argue about that. But that doesn't mean that people in Northwest Arkansas don't have appreciation for people in Central Arkansas and vice versa. It's kind of like a lot of things. You argue amongst you argue on Twitter or wherever, but you get together in person and you realize that, hey, we're all Razorback fans, we're all Arkansans, but it just kind of had that feel Saturday, and we've not had that in a while, and I think that's good.
We'll be in Hot Springs on Friday doing the show at Oaklawn.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
Opening day of the holiday racing season.
If Bart doesn't break them on Thursday night, they'll open their doors on Friday.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about Bart on Thursday night.
He's going to be in a casino Thursday night, so there's really no telling
what kind of
happen.
Bart we get on Friday. I'd tune in for that.
Yeah.
Also, come by and say hi if you want. We'll be down there in the lobby.
I enjoyed it when we were down there before.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a good time
over
this
almost
time.
towards the event center.
Well, and look, here's the thing. I mean, Friday's opening day of racing season.
That's right.
And it's like a state holiday for a lot of people. For some people, it's the opening day of deer season. For others, opening day of racing season. And I know both people. I know people that fall in both categories. So it'll be a fun day.
It is always a fun day. It'll be a great
People
time.
dress up.
Yeah. Yeah, we are so fortunate.
Bart's taking a jacket.
To have a place like that. Are you? Have you decided?
Well, yeah.
You're going to take
He's going to the jockey club. Are you
You're
kidding
going to
me?
go to the jockey club.
Well, I'm definitely taking a jacket.
You're going to have a tie?
Well, I don't know. There will
Well,
be
don't be thinking all the doors are going to open to you if you don't have a tie on.
Yeah, this is Central Arkansas.
Yeah, this is the real deal.
Not
They wear
Northwest
ties.
Arkansas.
That's right.
This is how the South dresses up.
It's the Southern
I'll be in a
aristocracy.
jacket. I always wear a jacket to the races.
Are you going to have one on the show on Friday morning? Or are you going to go back and change?
A winning jacket.
Yeah, I'll go back and change.
What are your plans? Are you going to stay all day and just do all the races?
I mean, I'm planning on it. Yeah,
He's planning on getting rich.
Got plans.
Yeah.
Join Bart at Oaklawn for the races all day. I'm going to go back to Oaklawn the following Friday for the state cheer competition. Now, you tell me.
I'd spend my day at the track. But that's just me. That's just me.
Well, I may or may not have gotten my room at Oaklawn.
Well, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. At least I can wake up smiling at the track.
you know, kids got to go to bed at some point. You know, and you've got all the activity.
Oh, they don't
you could
stay
ever
with
want.
you. This team, they got to stay as a team.
Oh, do they really?
Oh, yeah. This is state championship stuff, man.
I'm sorry.
I
didn't mean to underestimate.
Well, I read the note. That's all.
Understated.
I read the note they sent out. Yeah. Basically,
how much is that running?
Get your own. Well, you know, these cheer comps. But listen, I mean, baseball. You know, growing up, baseball is no different. All these tournaments you go to.
No, I mean,
I love that comedian bit about like we got $3,000 worth of bats in the dugout, no hits.
Yeah.
Can't you guys just share the same bat to strike out with? I mean, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank. First Security Bank, helping you bank better every day with more convenient locations. And if you need a home loan, let First Security Mortgage help guide you through the process of buying your new home. They've got all the expertise you need. They'll walk you through the entire process. And First Security offers several loan options to secure financing for your dream home. So if you're thinking about a home, you're thinking about Weichert, you need a lender, let First Security Bank help you out. Convenient online applications at fsbmortgageloan.com. fsbmortgageloan.com. Apply today. First Security is an equal housing lender. 643 Reaction Monday. We've got the Hogs winning over the weekend. We've got staff members reportedly being added to Ryan Silverfield's head coach or his coaching staff. And we've got the college football playoffs to react to. How are you interested? We're in Arkansas.
Did Notre Dame get shafted?
Arkansas was left out of the playoff. We get that. But also, we like college football here, and we're going to watch a lot of these games. I don't know if you have an opinion on what happened, but if you do, we'd love to hear from you today. Because if not, we're only going to be able to listen to Bart.
Bart believes Notre Dame got hosed.
And it's not just that.
College football is a farce.
He thinks that the selection committee is full of people that he wouldn't trust for information on his own locks, let alone selecting who the best college football teams are.
No.
And he's advocating to be on. He's advocating to be on the committee. What would Bart look like in the committee room?
Oh, God.
Bart, you can't run the committee, but we'll bring you in as a committee member. Yeah, thinking Bart with the putter on his shoulder.
Pacing back and forth with the putter over his shoulder.
I would have the attention of the room.
What if Bart could be Hunter Yurachek and he could be the guy doing the interview with Reese Davis?
That would be awesome.
I don't know. Nobody wants that job.
No, that would be great.
I would love to see you do
awesome.
it.
The reason nobody wants that job is because the committee is nonsensical and the process is nonsensical. That's why it's a thankless job. It's not Hunter's fault. It's a bad process.
Yeah, it's hard to soar like an eagle, you know.
When you're duck hunting. Back in a minute.
Yeah, what's your point?
You want my point?
Yes, I asked for it. Make it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Some
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond, you're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry, it's your story.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicher Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicher Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Woodhouse Spa is making the holidays easier and more relaxing. Give the gift of calm. Woodhouse delivers a customizable spa experience with every service tailored to your needs. And Woodhouse Spa gift cards are as meaningful as they are effortless. You can pick them up online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. Or if you go in person and spend $250 or more, you'll receive a special holiday gift while supplies last. Woodhouse Spa Rogers in Pinnacle Hills or online at rogers.woodhousespas.com.
This is not interesting. It's just interesting to us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you owning the day? Like, if you're not, at that point, it's still early enough to get your butt in gear, right?
Can I point something out here? It's okay to drag in the morning. It's okay. I mean,
You're not helping this.
I don't care. We're not a self-help show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Notre Dame's whining.
They are.
They're crying. So they're not going to play in a bowl game.
They're just going to pick up their ball and go home.
They're flabbergasted.
Stunned.
They're in utter shock. Utter disbelief and shock. Notre Dame calls the selection process a farce. A farce. A farce.
Yeah, they
A
even,
farce.
they even added an SH at the end.
A farce.
That's how bad it was.
It was between harsh and a farce. And they've decided, well, why play at all? Why play anything at all? Why even do this? I mean, I remember when some of these bowl games are good games. Like in terms of you go to a warm city.
Well, they would go to a Florida Bowl probably.
They would have gone to the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
You get treated well.
It's a good bowl.
You know, you get to play together.
Eat a Pop-Tart if you
You know, but it's not about
It's
that.
a fun bowl.
And I don't like I'm not even here to crush them over it because the college football has changed, and we're going to have to figure something out about the bowl system because I feel like we're going to experience more of this for the teams that aren't in the playoff. And when you expand to 16 teams, you know, then you're also probably diminishing the bigger bowl games. Those bowl games are now becoming part of the playoffs. So what do you do to keep the postseason of college football interesting for a team that's winning? Well, in this case, 5 games. How about this? If Arkansas had figured out a way to win 3 games under Petrino, they'd be 5-7, and they'd probably still be changing coaches, maybe not, but they would be potentially in a bowl game at 3 more wins.
3's a lot of wins.
But does anybody care?
No. And that's what's going to happen, I suspect. A lot of these bowl games are going to begin to fall by the wayside. I think that's unfortunate, but I know for a lot of people who only care about the big games, they won't notice. But, yeah, I mean, we're already, it's like we talked about earlier, we already have the mindset you're either a playoff contender or somebody's got to get fired. You know, it's not anymore, hey, we got to contend for a conference championship. We want to be a contender every year. Now it's like we got to be in the conversation for the 12 or 16 best or heads are going to roll. And that's the way it is right now.
In pro sports, you either make the playoffs or your season's a failure. And unless you're purposely trying to tank to get the number 1 pick. And I think like
But it's
we're
set up
seeing
differently.
Right, but we're seeing and I think that's the way college football should
There's
go.
a lot more college football teams than 32, though.
Right.
And you've got literally, 100 programs out there.
Right, but I think there are ways to do it. I think there is a solve.
What would that be?
Well, I did it in the summer in like an hour on the show.
Well, I'm sorry. My head was spinning.
Well,
I think there are things that can be done that might eventually have to be done. But, I mean, yeah, bowl games don't matter. To fans.
We've just finished a great college football season, right? Like, in terms of watching games, would you say that we had a great year? I'm not talking about Arkansas fans. I'm saying if you just like college football, you watched a lot of good games, right? You didn't watch college football all year saying, man, something's wrong. But now we're to that point in the season where 12 teams are playing for something. 2 of them aren't the best 12 teams in college football. We know that for sure. But what about everybody else? I mean, it used to be that there was some excitement at the end of the year, even if you weren't in the college football playoff. And now it's like if you're not in the college football playoff, it's not even worth playing whatever that next game is. And I think that's becoming a reality pretty quickly. And the faith in the leadership of college football to fix it, I just frankly don't have it. So what's going to happen? Almost 7 o'clock.
This fall, don't just pay for a heating tune-up. Make it part of a Paschal membership and get year-round benefits for your home. For as low as $8.99 a month, your annual tune-up is included. Plus, members get exclusive discounts on air, plumbing, and electric services. Don't wait until there's a problem. Protect your home, budget, and peace of mind with Paschal. Visit gopaschal.com to learn more and join today. And Razorback fans, we've got exciting news. Paschal is now proud to be the official air, plumbing, and electric provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Hey folks, Chuck Barrett here, the voice of the Razorbacks. And if you're ready for freedom from glasses or contacts, there's only one name you need to know: McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's LASIK, clear lens exchange, or advanced cataract surgery, they've got the solution to help you see your best, no matter your age. Doctors Betts and Mengarelli are the real deal, 2 of the most experienced surgeons anywhere. They've even taken care of my eyes. And now I'm seeing the basketball court crystal clear. I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye, and you will be too.
For Chuck Barrett, I'm Bo Madden.
Yeah.
Good morning. Hey, kids, how about a bagel?
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
What would you tell Razorback fans now about where they are positioned to compete in the SEC?
Yeah, the investment that we have committed to make, and it's from the university, from the top down, from the system, the board, from the top down, it is going to put us in a position where we can compete to win SEC and national championships. I understand how important the success of our football program is to the health of our Department of Athletics, to the health of our university, and to everyone across this state, and we're going to get it right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Man, nothing drives the bus like college football. It's just incredible. I mean, you had the playoff selection show yesterday. Everybody's talking about it today. Bart hasn't slept. He's up in arms about Notre Dame. Well, I know. I mean, and you've gutted it out, and then you got the gut punch over the weekend with Notre Dame getting left out. 3 for 3 on the locks, though.
Yeah, let's
Let's
have Bart reset the college football playoff for us at some point. Dr. Tyler's in Fayetteville, though. Let's take a call here on a Monday morning. It's 7:03. Good morning, Dr. Tyler. What's happening?
Good morning, gentlemen. Just wanted to, I know Bart's upset about the college football playoff at the Division I FBS level, but let's talk about how another team got messed over in the Division II playoffs. Okay, Harding. Best team in the country by far. Set a record for the NCAA rushing yards, 6,380 yards. Set a record for touchdowns, 80 touchdowns. Number 2 team in the country behind Ferris State, who beat them last year in the playoffs. But number 2 team in the country all season long. They're the only team in all of the 4 regions to play 3 top 10 teams in the playoffs, beat all 3 top 10 teams in the playoffs, and they have to go on the road. They were a number 1 seed in their region, and because the NCAA is dumb and reseeds the teams at the end of the quarterfinals, at the end of the regional finals, they reseed them. Harding's got to go to Pennsylvania to play Kutztown or some dumb school like that, and all it's going to do is
the Golden
pick
Bears.
Harding off, and it's going to be but it's dumb. They should be playing at home. They should be sleeping in their own beds. And instead, they're getting messed over. So Bart can be mad about that, too.
Who's on that committee? Who's on that committee, Dr.
How's
Tyler?
that happen?
I don't know. It's not me, though. And you can see it as plain as day. There's 2 elite teams in Division II, Ferris State and Harding, and they should be on the opposite side of each other. And these other 2 teams are going to get waxed by both of them. But Harding should be playing at home.
I'm not. I don't really know much about this, but I know a little bit about seeding. So it looks to me like these 2 teams won. One's the 2 seed, one's the 3 seed. Harding's the 3 seed. So, 1 would play 4, 2 would play 3, 3 would go to where number 2 is.
Maybe they're trying to set up that matchup.
So maybe they got a bad seed, but this is the way it goes.
But Harding was the number 1 seed in their region. Now, Kutztown was as well.
That's what I mean.
Harding,
they had to overall seed them, and so Harding was the 3 overall seed. And so even though they're the 1 out of theirs, everybody else won their division to get into that thing too.
Right, but they're the number 2 team in the country all season long. They're the only playoff team to play 3 top 10 teams in their region during the playoffs.
So you're saying they got a bad
seed?
3. Okay, you're saying they got a bad seed.
They were disrespected.
And so now back to Chuck's question: Who do you want us to yell at?
Yeah, who should we turn Bart loose on?
Who should we criticize? Because right now it's just a black hole of somebody out there. Got to put somebody's name on this.
Gentlemen,
you too, man.
All right.
Like I don't
Take
know.
care, y'all.
Yeah, we don't know who to go get on that.
You know who played for Ferris State last year?
Write a letter to your state representative.
I was thinking about this last night. I saw him on a commercial. Trinidad Chambliss was Ferris State's quarterback last year when they beat Harding. This guy goes from being the quarterback at Ferris State to 1 year later, he's doing an NIL commercial for AT&T. He was doing a commercial last night about switching from Verizon to AT&T. Now, there's no telling what, he got paid for that. But that's how fast it can happen in the transfer portal world. One year you're coaching quarterback in Ferris State. Next year you're in the college football playoff. You're doing commercials for AT&T. That's a big jump.
When you talk about it like that, it makes it hard to say this is a bad thing that we have going in college football. When you look at it from an individual story perspective,
here's the problem.
We're seeing more and more of that. Diego Pavia.
We do. Some of these guys, I mean, they're kind of going from point A to point D without having to go through B and C because, I mean, there are some, certain steps maybe you ought to have to go to before you're, go from Ferris State to being a spokesman for AT&T, but things happen fast in the world now. I mean, that's just kind of how it is.
He's earned it in terms of his play on the field.
Well, he's earned it in terms of his play on the field. The part in all this, and you know this, that people are not going to switch to AT&T because of Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, you know that's not going to happen. So, I mean, if he's being paid to, paid whatever he's being paid, he's being overpaid.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's AT&T. I mean, that's a big company, and
I understand all that.
That's interesting that they have found him to be a guy of that stature.
And it's playing off the transfer portal thing.
Yeah. Heath is in Cabot. Yeah, it is. Make the move. Right. Transfer. Yeah. Heath, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, Heath,
well,
what's up?
It's a cold Monday morning, I got to tell you. Listen, let me just ask you one question. Do you think the Irish are better than at least two of the teams that are in the playoff? At least two?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
But now,
do you think they're better?
My two are Tulane and James Madison. I'm certain they're better than them. I'm not sure about the others, to be honest.
I mean, I just, look, I mean, they're not asking me, and I'm not on the committee, but we do know who's on the committee. I mean, I don't think anybody really trusts Hunter Yurosek to make a competent decision. I mean, I don't, listen, the Irish didn't get in. It is what it is, 50-50. You got to take care of business on the field. When you don't, there's a chance you're not going to get in, but when that's what you're playing for every single year is a shot at a championship, and you're not in a conference, you got to go undefeated. But I just feel like if you don't think the Irish are one of the best 12 teams in college football, you just haven't been watching football. So, but I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't think anybody believes that Tulane and James Madison have a real shot at even getting out of the first round, let alone winning a national championship at this level. So I don't. I mean, I get it. You win your conference. You get put in, but like Nick Saban said, it's supposed to be about the 12 best teams in all of college football, and those two teams aren't even close. I still can't understand how Miami gets in when Virginia played for an ACC championship and they were the runner-up and they still have the better record. I just don't understand how all that goes into play, but really I wanted to say, hey, look, not all Irish fans are crying. A 10-2 season is still pretty good, and I would rather, forego a bowl game and get ready. Notre Dame's got one of the top recruiting classes in college football, so start getting those guys in the weight room, getting on the field, and start preparing for next year, rather than play a meaningless, pointless bowl game that means nothing.
Well, you're missing a bunch of practices. Now, the transfer portal makes that not as important, but if you are developing younger players, you're missing 3 weeks of practice.
I also think, too, with Notre Dame, given the disappointment, given the outrage, I'm not sure they'd win a bowl game. I mean, you don't just show up. People sometimes think you go to a bowl game with opt-outs, with all the things that happen between the final game and a bowl game. It is a roll of the dice on whether or not you're going to win. And it may not be important to players and coaches like it once was, but it's still important to fans. And if you don't win that game, they're going to be all over you. So I do think there's the element of the unpredictability factor in bowls beyond the college football playoff.
I do want to point something out because I feel like it's an important add to the conversation.
Please add.
That if this was next year and this was the situation next year, Notre Dame would not be left out of the college football playoff because of the
top 12. If they have an agreement with the college football playoff whatever it is. I'm brain dead.
If Notre Dame is ranked in the top 10,
top 12
or top 12,
that's if they go to when they go to 16,
in.
right?
No, it starts next year.
Okay,
it's their agreement because they're independent. So they had to do their own agreement with the CFP.
Right.
So the conferences have an agreement that make up the CFP. Right. Notre Dame has an agreement of
and
where
it
they
changed
fit in the CFP.
after the reseeding thing happened, because it was they had one, but it was different, and now it's changed based on the reseeding. And so if Notre Dame is ranked in a certain spot, they automatically draw into the field.
I want to go back to something you said a minute ago, and Saban has said this: the objective is to get the 12 best teams in the playoff. I've always said that too. I don't know if that's really the objective.
No,
I mean, the objective is to crown a national champion.
With the group of 5. They don't even take their own top 12 in the college football playoff rankings. Right. They're not taking the top 12.
And there's just the aspect to it that because of the fact that you don't have the 12 best per se, that it's just not legitimate. And I don't know if I agree with that, but I understand people saying it.
Yeah. So like, if you took the top 12 teams, it'd be Notre Dame and BYU, not Tulane and James Madison. And then Texas was 13, Vanderbilt was 14, Utah 15. Goes from there.
Texas would beat BYU, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect that. Yeah. You would expect that. I don't think BYU is the 12th best team. But like I say, on these rankings, it's like when they get past the top 12, does it really matter?
Yeah.
Or the top 10 in this case.
You're right.
Are they really grinding out whether Georgia Tech's better than Houston or Iowa's better than James Madison or whatever? But
can I just add something funny to this conversation?
Please do.
I find humorous at least.
Please do.
Just to compare and contrast to the selection committee, these are the Sagarin ratings for college football teams. Like, this is one of the most respected set of metrics
He's
in
no
college
Jerry
football.
Palm. He's highly respected.
Yes. I think it was part of the BCS formula once upon a time, but I'm not 100% certain on that. Ohio State number 1, Indiana number 2, Notre Dame number 3, Oregon number 4, Texas Tech 5, Georgia 6, Miami 7, A&M 8, Alabama 9, Ole Miss 10, Vandy 11, Texas 12.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another way of analyzing data. I mean,
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's
They've got the
thing.
highest ranked SEC team
this is
number 6.
This is like a science fair contest.
That was my point.
This is like a science fair. You know what I mean? Like your project versus my project, and that's really cool how you did that thing with the battery and whatever. That's great. You won. I thought mine was better. I mean, it's hilarious because you can't do it. If you could do it, then you would always win the bet. How many people are hitting over 50% of their bets? And I know everybody listening just raised their hand.
Bart is.
Oh, I'm a winner. Big Keith in the house.
Have been pretty good.
Big Keith can't even get me his Venmo. He wants me to buy him a Walmart card to repay my $50 bet over Arkansas winning one more game this year after they got the 2 wins. I lost. But Big Keith is still losing because he can't get me a proper Venmo that works. He wants me to go to Walmart, buy a gift card, and send him a picture of the numbers on the back of it. And I got to be honest, I'm just not comfortable with that.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
But I will tape $50, to the outside door in an envelope.
I'm going to tape $50
and leave it there.
That's right.
And it'll go to somebody. Bart's at the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Where are you today? 877-377-6963 if you want to get in here. Chuck's got a Silverado. He'd recommend doing business with Chevy of Fayetteville.
I would recommend doing business with Chevy of Fayetteville. I would. You always get a great deal. I mean, you can go lots of places and get a great deal, but I like what happens after that there. They make you feel like you're valued, and they make you want to come back.
And you get a complimentary loaner.
That's right. That's a big deal.
Just dropping your vehicle off to get serviced.
That's a big deal.
God forbid,
They
you get in an
understand.
accident
I
or
mean, you
something
got
like that.
real life going on.
Yeah.
And that's
And it
one of the
doesn't stop
reasons
for
they've
that.
been around so long is they take care of you.
Customer service. You'll find them inside the Fayetteville Auto Park, Chevy of Fayetteville. A year-end red tag event going on right now. A lot of deals to be had at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
that's
we don't
all I
want
wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Distribution Solutions Incorporated began providing superior customer service back in 1997 based out of Harrison, Arkansas, and they're supporting our local communities today and always looking for professional OTR drivers. DSI knows drivers by name. They're about their people, and when you work with DSI, it feels more like a family than a job, and they know home time matters. If you're a driver, check out their website, drivedsi.com. All the benefits, all the vacation time, and that home time that matters.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond, you're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry, it's your story.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville. He's Chuck Barrett.
He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
we've been thinking that you'd travel a lot, and we were wondering if it'd be okay if you just shared your location with us.
Probably not. But
just in case anything happens.
Yeah, I
just with the family here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
would you mind sharing your location with us?
I would mind. Yes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo and I were hanging out in the break room making coffee, knowing that Bart had done a deep dive into the Division II playoffs, and that
guys, I fixed the college football.
Well,
again,
you fixed the FBS playoff, and now you're going to have to fix the FCS playoff.
Well,
is there nothing you can't fix, Bart?
Well, I mean, all it takes is time and a small group of people.
And in our case, a 5-minute commercial break, and bam, bang,
and just
fixed.
think, this morning when Bart came in, Edward, it was
bang.
It's like, I'm just going to try to get through today.
Yeah.
Well, I still am doing that.
Well, I saw Bart. I was like, hey, Bart, how's it going? He's like, not great. And I was like, well, it's Happy Monday. He said, it's not going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be a good day.
I said, well, it can be. I mean, it's
make it your day, Bart.
It's like 5:40 in the morning,
Own
man.
your day, Bart. This day is yours.
There's
you have
a lot
carried,
of day left.
You've
There's
carried
a lot
the
of
show.
day left.
I knew what was going to happen. Bart comes in. He's not feeling good. He's barely saying a word. It's like, hey, Bart, what's going on? I feel terrible. What about Notre Dame? Bang! Here we go. It's like Bart comes to life.
Lottie frickin' God! Yeah. Well, they didn't even get to do that. Hunter Yurchek explaining it all yesterday.
And once we moved Miami ahead of BYU, then we had that side-by-side comparison that everybody had been hungering for with Notre Dame and Miami. And you look at those two teams on paper, and they're almost equal in their schedule strength, their common opponents, the results against their common opponents. But the one metric we had to fall back on, again, was the head-to-head. I charged the committee members to go back and watch that game again, the Miami-Notre Dame game, because it was so far back. And we got some interesting debate from our coaches on what that game looked like as we watched it. And with that in mind, we gave Miami the nod over Notre Dame into that 10 spot.
So apparently playing it over and over and over again on the ACC network proved fruitful for the ACC network. So congratulations for the impact of having seen that game again. Look, Notre Dame, I will say this, Bart. Notre Dame played two difficult games, and they lost them both. They won 10 straight games against nobody after that.
Well, they clobbered a team that's Oregon's best win.
Well, it doesn't. I'm just saying. I mean, if USC is what you're hanging your hat on, they finished 16th in the.
Yeah, and that's all Oregon is hanging their hat on.
Well, I'm not talking about Oregon.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's but it all works together, right? Like, and what Hunter said there, respectfully, is crap about the.
You've taken a page from Chuck. Respectfully.
Well, I do.
With all my respect, that's crap.
Again, I say that because like the position he's in is a losing position.
Yeah, you're not blaming him.
No,
you're blaming the process and the committee
position. That's why nobody wants to be in that role because you get trotted out there as a show pony for the college football playoff. but like it's not your doing. Like, it's not your opinion. Yeah. It's just the way it is. So that's why I say respectfully. But, like, the whole because that game was so long ago, yeah, those were two completely different teams in week one of the season. Like, it was almost like it was a different season. Notre Dame went on the road for their opener with a freshman quarterback making his first career start and barely lost to a veteran Miami team with Carson Beck as their quarterback. And you're telling me that over the course of the season, there was no sort of evolution of that team? If Notre Dame and Miami played again today, Notre Dame would win by multiple touchdowns.
Well, if they join a conference, they might get a chance to play in a championship game and win a game like that.
Well, Miami also didn't get to play in a championship game.
Well, but my point is if you're Notre Dame, at some point you got to ask yourself, I mean, you know, what are we doing here?
Maybe so. I think that's just a really disingenuous thing to say. And again, I'm not blaming Hunter.
It's not disingenuous. It's just the wrong opinion, in your opinion.
It's not your opinion.
I think it's a disingenuous approach to the whole thing, man. Like
it's the wrong approach. I think they're trying.
Approach. It's the wrong approach.
I don't think they're
it's
just doing it to do it.
Well, I mean, look, you so there are people out there who believe that Alabama and Miami got into the playoff because the SEC and ACC have deals with ESPN. Like, there are people who believe that.
Well, those people are conspiracy theorists.
Right. The SEC only got one team in the top 4. I mean,
and that's a joke too.
There's not
it's
SEC favoritism in this. Now, there are some inequities. I mean, the Big 12 is far superior to the ACC in my opinion,
way.
and they each have one, I guess. And I don't know that the ACC ought to have any.
Should Alabama have stayed at 9, losing to Georgia?
No,
but you can't.
I do think so.
Yes, you can't penalize
Yeah.
teams for playing in their conference championship.
But they did
game.
BYU.
But they do have to use it as a data point.
They penalized BYU though for losing.
I know, but BYU needed they don't have enough to their resume. You know what I mean? Like
this is the.
I don't know if they were penalized as much as they didn't. This
is where it does come back to being a little disingenuous. Is that like Alabama did not get penalized for getting thumped by Georgia in the SEC championship game, but BYU did for getting thumped by Texas Tech.
Texas Tech beat the crap out of them twice.
Now look, I don't think BYU should have been in the playoff. I'm just saying that, like, you know, all things equal, and then Alabama doesn't get penalized for losing to a terrible Florida State team at the start of the year, but Notre Dame gets penalized for losing to Miami.
Yeah,
Game 1.
yeah. Again, it's just people's opinions, man. I mean, like you've got a committee of 12 people, could be 13 people, and they're just sitting around talking about what they think and how.
At the end of the day, for me, you cannot have a team. You cannot have a team that is ranked 8 spots behind a team, play worse football down the stretch, and somehow jump that team. That in my mind is the crux of the issue there. Like that's the whole thing.
All right, how do you fix it all?
Are the right people on the committee?
No, certainly not.
You already tackled that.
Certainly not.
We need new people on the committee.
Hear him do it again.
Certainly not.
It is an
what I
interesting
say,
thing.
not stewards of the game.
It is a really interesting thing. Like, what are we doing? Well, we're creating conversation. That's what we're doing. That's what the college football playoff is doing. Maybe not here. I feel like we should move along. It is what it is.
Would you like to know how to fix it?
But yeah, you can tell us how to fix it, and
we
then
can hold.
and then let's talk about National Brownie Day.
Is it really? Wow.
Pretend to be a time traveler day. Also, that would be good. We could talk about that. We could talk about all the things that Hunter said about the football program. Talk about Ryan Silverfield. What's going to happen with football? When will Arkansas be in the college football playoff? You can hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
What happened? Where did everybody go? You can hear a pin drop.
They're doing all the calculating in their head.
We got to take a break. We'll take calls if you want to get in here. 877-377-6963. Bart, are you going to tell us how to fix it real quick? Is it a short conversation or does it need some? You want to save it?
Yeah,
okay.
let's save it.
All right. Well, this is a short conversation. If you need a new roof, there's one place you just go to right away and you get it done and you get it right the first time. On time, on budget. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, teamworkbuilt.com. That's the website. They've got certified crews, certified materials. There's no job that's too difficult or too small. They do remodels too. Bottom line, if you're getting a quote on your roof and you don't get one from Teamwork, you've probably made a mistake. I'll just be honest with you. Great people doing great work. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality. Powered by Teamwork. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. That's just flat out wrong.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Chuck, you've been around a while, and look, I don't mean that ugly, and Bo, you've been around not as long as Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
but by the glory of God, the great coaches, great teammates, everyone we have around us, we were able to pull this off. Whoever thought the Hoosiers would be here, but now the Hoosiers are flipping champs. Let's go!
I mean, there are negatives that are you can point to fairly readily, and I don't mean that against any of them. We've all got negatives.
Let's talk about that.
I'm not going to lie.
What are they?
But I'm not going to talk about it either.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, we got people on the line. Where do we go first, Edward? Cecil? Is that the story?
We can go to Cecil.
Cecil's in Fort Smith.
Hey, Cecil,
you're on the Chuck and Bo
What's
Show.
going on, buddy?
Here we go. See, last week we had a day where he pegged it.
He was on the wrong phone.
Yeah.
Cecil, are you with us? Are you on the right phone? Are you available?
Hey.
Hey. You there?
Activity Christmas, man.
Good Lord.
How does this?
I'm not on, man.
Yeah, we have.
Cecil's going in timeout.
Do you think he's doing this as a bit?
No,
I think it's a bit.
unfortunately, I appreciate.
He called in Thursday or Friday, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Danny, you're in Russellville and on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Danny.
With a 9-game schedule, it's going to be tough. You talked about when will Arkansas make the playoffs. They probably are going to expand that, I'm sure. If you keep adding teams like Tulane and James Madison, I mean, obviously they're not going to win it. But I think we need to get behind Coach Silverfield. He's our coach. I think he's a good hire. We got the best coach we could. But, I think James Franklin would not have been a good fit at Arkansas just because he's from the north and he doesn't recruit down here. And Silverfield, he recruits Arkansas. That's good. And he got 4 Arkansas players. And I think that's a good sign. But 9 conference games, it's going to be rough unless they expand that playoff field for Arkansas to make it. And I just feel like we have no place to go but up. I mean, the fans have been beat down this year like a yard dog. Every game we had, probably six out of the losses were just like our heart ripped out in the last minute. So we need some good things to happen, and I think there's some good things coming anyway. But thanks for taking my call, and go Hogs.
Yeah,
right.
appreciate the
Thank
call.
you, Danny.
Boy, you're right about it just being a beat down feeling kind of a year. But now you got a guy with energy, life, enthusiasm, excitement. Can he get other people excited? Can they help raise money? Can any of that lead to Arkansas winning in football? This is what they have. This is where they've placed their bet with Ryan Silverfield. And what we've seen so far has been good. He's assembling a staff now. Let's see how they end up in the portal. One of the biggest takeaways for me about the college football playoff and watching the Big 12 championship on Saturday was that a year ago we left the Liberty Bowl having beaten Texas Tech and looked fairly good doing it. And how things have changed.
I've said this before, but at no point in my drive back did I say to myself, man, I don't want any part of Texas Tech next year. I mean, they're just they look like a typical Texas Tech team. Just at the end of the day, they were Texas Tech. And now all of a sudden they're not. And it does show what an infusion of money can do. Same coach, same campus, same stadium, same everything. Same Lubbock, but a whole different Texas Tech.
And they've got to buy. They're not just in it. They got to buy.
Oh, I know.
And they could also lose their first game to Oregon. What's your take on that, Bart?
Yeah, what do you
Texas
think about
Tech,
that
Oregon,
one,
if we
Bart?
get to that game.
I'm taking
James
Oregon.
Madison doesn't upset Oregon.
I'm
which I
taking
do not
Oregon
expect them
just for fun. Just for fun.
Oregon, Texas Tech in the second round in the quarterfinals of the playoffs.
I think Texas Tech's defense would probably carry the day in that matchup.
There you have it. Go with the Red Raiders.
Okay, there it is. He's not a believer in Oregon.
So
I'm not a believer in Oregon at all.
So they're into the semis. In your mind, Texas Tech's into the semis.
Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
Sterling at Center Ridge. What's happening, buddy?
Hey, guys. And what gets me about this whole thing is we knew the rules before we got into it. So they're complaining about James Madison. I hear Saban all the time, get the best 12. I mean, the rules are set. I mean, you need to do like Dan in Central Arkansas. He should have been saying that every week on the show. We got to get do away, then let's get the best 12. Say it every week. because saying it now sounds hollow to me because we knew the rules going in. Notre Dame, you had them on the field. I don't care if you play them July 31st, March 31st, November 31st, even though there's no such thing as November 31st because it's only 30 days.
That'd be a heck of a feat right there.
But you lost the game. It counts. That's like taking in Major League Baseball, taking out the games in April because we lost. I'm sorry. They lost in Miami. And in Alabama, the game it's an extra game they got in because of a tiebreaker system. So because they didn't beat Georgia twice in the state of Georgia, there's people out there that think they shouldn't be in there.
Well, it's that win over Georgia and Athens that got them in. That's why Alabama's in, is because they won at Georgia. Nobody's got a better win.
That's right. It should be in. I mean, Bart makes a good point about Oregon. I mean, they don't have nothing going for them. But Notre Dame, that schedule was weak as water. And I thought it was a pretty tough schedule when I thought Arkansas was going to be pretty good. I thought NC State might be pretty good. I thought Pitt was going to be better. When I thought they could still make when they lost the first two games, I still thought they had a chance of making it because I thought those teams were going to be good. It turned out those teams wasn't very good. Not playoff-worthy victories, you know. So everybody got what they should have got. Everybody. Everybody's where they should be. And you know what? If you would have kept it at 4 like you should have kept it, no one has an argument to be in but the top 4.
You're right. We're not talking about James Madison and Tulane,
Well,
are
and
we?
if they had kept it at 4, the bowl games would still be a big deal.
That's right.
The big bowls
That's right.
especially.
Kept it at 4. I know we're never going
But this is what we all wanted. This is what we all wanted.
Oh, yeah, we're getting exactly what we begged for.
And so now what you're going to have to do is you're just going to have to make it a lot bigger. You're going to have
12's
play-in
not the
games.
right number.
You're going to have play-in games. Like, everybody in the top 25 should have a chance to keep playing for something significant. Maybe their bowl game's a play-in game to the playoff. Maybe we start earlier. You know, we don't have as big a regular season. But
I think you ought to be playing playoff games this weekend. That's just my opinion. I think you lose momentum. I think you also have better teams that are more susceptible to being upset after having taken 3 or 4 weeks, away from a game competition. Hey, take your top 4 seeds, give them a week off. But I think everybody else ought to be playing right now.
I agree with you. Hey, try a Flight by Yuengling if you have it. 95 calories, but it tastes like a Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. Raise your game. Raise a Flight by Yuengling. Ask for it on draft at Walk-Ons. If you watch a game there, over 60 televisions. Best place to watch a game in Arkansas, in my opinion. And they've got Flight on draft or whenever you stop by the store or whatever restaurant you end up ask them for a Flight by Yuengling, and you'll be glad you did. 7:44, it's the Chuck and Bo Show on a Monday. See, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicher Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicher Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Imagine every sip and bite feels like you're celebrating the finer things in life. Chef Shiloh and the bartenders at Tusker's Tavern in Fayetteville have just dropped new menu items celebrating a cocktail culture and culinary craftsmanship. Daily happy hour, 5 to 6:30, 20% off wine by the glass and $5 local draft beer. And for fun, they've created Unhappy Hour, Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 11 p.m. with the same specials. It's Tusker's Tavern at the corner of Mission and Crossover in Fayetteville.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the basketball palace of Mid-America, and Coach Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you loud all season long. A limited number of single-game tickets are available right now. Just head over to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and purchase yours today.
I want to see you and Bart in the old three-legged race.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let me just...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Call the Flippin' Show and have a conversation. Like, call the show, bring up a point, let's discuss it if you want to. But I don't think you have the guts to.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart's got the guts to present a 2018
He's
playoff.
got it fixed.
Yeah, 2018 playoff,
Coming
college
up,
football
yeah.
playoff. Bart Pullman's 2018 college football playoff. How many people are on this committee? Me.
It's a
Just
committee
you?
of
You're
one.
a committee of one?
Yeah, I like it, Bart.
People get underestimated all the time. I think people are underestimating Bart's ability to take over college football. His capacity, his insight, his wisdom.
And his willingness.
His CEO-type skills. And his willingness. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, willingness
and
is
his
key.
passion, his energy.
Yeah.
Cecil, we're going to try this again. Cecil, good morning.
God. You gotta be kidding me.
Cecil.
Ugh.
Good morning.
Hey, man,
buddy.
what's up?
It did it again.
What is it?
It did it again.
We're here. We're here.
Can
you hear me?
Yes.
Talk to us on the phone, Cecil.
Well.
Okay, I'm gonna just
just
keep
let her
talking,
rip.
'cause I can't hear y'all.
Yeah. There we go.
It's like
go.
pausing. I don't know what it is, man.
And go.
I don't have another one on either.
Go ahead.
Let it rip.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I can't talk like this, fellas. I'll just listen. Y'all have a blessed day.
Just beat me.
Right on I-40.
Yeah, what we've got here is failure to communicate.
Yeah,
we had here last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, for $9.95 a month, you too can communicate like this. The SEC, 9 conference games, no divisions. We have no divisions anymore. I want to know why, if I do real good in the regular season, I've got to be penalized with a 10th SEC game called the playoffs so I can play the second best team in the SEC and get all beat the hell up and maybe lose my chance at the college football playoffs. I mean, that just don't make a lick of sense to me. Why do we have any longer do we have a conference championship?
Well, if you're going to do away with conference championship games, and there's always going to be talk of that, you've got to have first-round playoff games that weekend. The idea that you're going to end your regular season the last Saturday in November and not have conference championship games the next weekend and a couple of 3 weeks down the road, pick it up where you left off and start the playoff then, that's not going to work. I'm not, just for the record, I'm not necessarily against doing away with conference championship games, but you've got to have meaningful football that day.
Bart has it fixed. He's got a 2018 college football playoff that he is set to unveil. He's going to, just create his own thing. And he's mad. He's not going to take it anymore. That's Notre Dame, the 1 seed in your.
It's a rival committee.
In your 2018
It's a rival
playoff.
committee.
How do you fix it, Bart? Can you do it in a minute?
Well, I think you take a look at what's happening and what's been working in Division II, and I think they have a setup that you can just take and mirror to the FBS, right?
Okay.
So I think you take college football, the conferences, you divide them into 2 regions. You have Region 1, Region 2, the AFC and the NFC, whatever you want to call them.
All right.
Okay, so Region 1 would have the SEC, ACC, American, Sun Belt, Conference USA. Region 2 would have the Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, Mountain West, and the MAC. And then, independents fit into, so like Notre Dame and UConn would fit into Region 2.
Okay, all right.
Then you take the 5 conference champions. There are 2 ways to do this. You can take the 5 conference champions, or you can cut out the smaller conferences entirely.
Okay.
But you take the 5 conference champions. They get automatic bids, but they're seated wherever they're seated. They're not necessarily seated 1 through 5. And then the rest are at-large bids from the power conferences in that region. Okay, so you end up with 14 teams in Region 1, 14 teams in Region 2. They play those brackets out, and then the winner of Region 1 meets the winner of Region 2 for the national championship.
Bang!
This is not that hard, people.
Yeah, let's do
And
that.
he just looked at the Division II bracket about an hour ago. I mean, he just became aware of their bracket an hour ago, and he's figured it out already. It's incredible.
It's not that hard. Also, it makes more money for everybody because there's more inventory.
Bart should run the world.
Let me get you Wes Clark's number, the executive director of the college football playoff. You can call him. Call Hunter.
Call him now.
You
Call
know
him
the
right
current
now.
chairman. You know the past chairman, Jeff Long.
You can get things
we
done,
Get
Bart.
you the former executive director.
I fixed it.
Bill Hancock, the current director.
Bart
Wes
fixed
Clark. Truck and Bow on Demand, driven by the Fable Auto Park.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this. Woodhouse Spa is making the holidays easier and more relaxing. Give the gift of calm. Woodhouse delivers a customizable spa experience with every service tailored to your needs. And Woodhouse Spa gift cards are as meaningful as they are effortless. You can pick them up online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. Or if you go in person and spend $250 or more, you'll receive a special holiday gift while supplies last. Woodhouse Spa Rogers in Pinnacle Hills or online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. Need help growing your brand with strategy and creativity? At Vanquish Marketing, the mission is simple. Help businesses grow with clarity, kindness, and excellence. They don't just run ads or manage campaigns. They come alongside brands as a true partner. By creating data-driven marketing funnels and building strategies that scale, they equip their clients for long-term success. Guided by their core values, they know growth is about more than transactions. It's about people. Visit vanquish.marketing to jumpstart your brand today.
Donuts, Red Bull, and lottery tickets. I mean, how could you want anything
Courtesy
more?
of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
So I'm at the gym yesterday, and I go take a big giant gulp out of this water bottle. And then I realize as I'm carrying the water bottle in my hand, it's not mine. But I made an about face, and I immediately pivoted and went right back, put it down, and walked off and hoped nobody saw. What do you do?
I think you handled it the right way. I mean, if you were carrying diseases, that'd be different. But as far as I know, you're not. There's no harm, no foul.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Wow, a lot happened over the weekend. College football playoff rankings came out. We've discussed it ad nauseum. Bart is really upset at everyone on the committee, thinks they're all a bunch of losers and really have no business being there. Did I say it about right?
I never called any of them losers.
No, I said that's what you think. I didn't say you said any of that, but I could tell that's what you think. You think that you said who? Like in the notes,
losers.
Bart listed the entire playoff
great.
committee, and he's like,
he's got his commentary right next to the name.
What? A name? What? Another name? What? With 3 question marks. Another name. Why is he here? 2 question marks.
That's my favorite.
Bad until this season in football. Why are they there?
Another West Coast former coach?
Yeah.
Sure.
So Bart thinks the committee is not the right people to be deciding all
They
this.
could do better. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I think it's harder than everyone thinks. And I honestly, I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I don't really care. Like, I'm fine with what they came up with. I'm not. I guess part of it is I don't have a team in the fight.
You're not a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah. But I certainly understand why Notre Dame fans would be upset, but I would also understand why Miami fans would be upset if they were left out. Now, one thing is true, Notre Dame has a lot more fans than Miami.
That's true. Very true. Coast to coast.
Yeah, well, all over the world. I mean, they're the probably most recognizable college football brand from an international standpoint. And they're going to take their brand and leave it right at home because they were not invited to the playoff.
Quick question. Who's more upset today, Notre Dame football fans, Kentucky basketball fans?
So that's a great question.
I mean, who's angrier today?
I think we're going to see more and more people. We said it when it happened. Sooner or later, they're going to wish they had Cal back at Kentucky. They lost 94-59 to Gonzaga. They got the doors blown off of them, and it is not going well with that. Whatever they spent on their roster, whether it was $20 million or whatever, we've seen those reports. Who knows if they're accurate? But they spent plenty of money on their roster.
That game was in Nashville, where they play the conference tournament. And I'm telling you, we used to talk about Barnhill South back in the day. That's Rupp South when they play at Nashville. And they boot them off the floor at halftime.
There's all these Kentucky fans that can't get season tickets that go to the SEC tournament or a neutral site game. And they'll take like vacation time to do it. And they were not happy. That's what Cal got out of. He got out of town, man.
I was thinking over the weekend. Cal likes to say, when we win a national championship, I want everybody to say they couldn't have done it without me. Well, he was so good at that at Kentucky, they started thinking they could do it without him.
That's right.
I mean, he'd convinced them they were the reason. He'd done such a good job. They thought, well, we can put anybody in it. We can bring one of our own back.
That's exactly right.
And they got to thinking that they were the ones that won it. And so here we are.
Well, fans know, and Kentucky knew what they needed, and it was Mark Pope. And that is not working out, but I'll give Pope credit for owning the booing.
I don't have a great answer for you other than that. We've kind of we've diminished a little bit into a bad spot right now, and we have to dig ourselves out of it. And it's going to be an internal group thing, and we feel the responsibility we have to this university and this fan base, and that all the boos that we heard tonight were incredibly well deserved, mostly from me, and we have to fix it. That's all we have. When you as you're rolling through life, you just have your response, and our response so far has not been adequate, and we have to fix it.
Everybody thinks just get rid of the guy you have, and the next guy will be better.
Yeah, that's always the answer. It is always the answer.
Ohio State tried to run their own guy out of town last year, and he went on and won the national championship, which, by the way, wasn't even a surprise. Right? I mean, no, Ohio State was a very loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even a surprise that they won the national championship and they wanted to fire him after losing to Michigan because he just couldn't beat Michigan.
This year they beat Michigan. They may not win the national championship.
What did you think of Indiana, by the way? Listen, Curt Cignetti, is this guy the unicorn of all unicorns to college football?
Yes, he is. He is. There has not been a bigger turnaround in the history of college football. And I know that's a mouthful, and you would think that, man, that's an overstatement.
It's not at all.
Find me one. Find me a bigger turnaround. Kansas State, Bill Snyder, not in the second year, not like this. This was like the losingest program out there. And he comes in, and it's just a complete and total change, and it just defies explanation. But that's a real football team right there. That's not a gimmick. It's not one of those teams they've come in and just fooled everybody for a couple of years. They've lined up and whipped people.
Well, we've seen the plays on the field this year, too. Like the quarterback, the receiver, making play, the defense.
I'm talking about their
making
defense.
Plays. I mean, and
that's a championship
last
team right
year
there.
It was all about, well, they're not playing anybody.
They're going to last year, hey, we may be able to outslug you. We may be able to beat you 40-30. This year, you want to play 10-7? We'll win that game, too. And that's a real football team. I don't know if they're going to win the whole tournament. I mean, who knows? But they were clearly the better team Saturday night.
Nothing gimmicky about this
team.
No,
absolutely
not.
not.
They're just a well-built football team. And how about the energy of their quarterback? Fernando Mendoza after the Big Ten championship.
I want to give all the glory to God. We were never supposed to be in this position, but by the glory of God, the great coaches, great teammates, everyone we have around us, we were able to pull this off. Whoever thought the Hoosiers would be here, but now the Hoosiers are flipping champs. Let's go.
He was just awesome. A little emotional. He was a little emotional
he
after winning
going
that.
Too.
I know.
I mean, he was literally just freaking out.
He was freaking out.
I loved it.
Those guys are going to be tough to beat. They might win it all.
Oh, I think they're the favorite. I don't know if they're the best team or not, but I think they're the favorite. If I was picking a team, boy, you better be ready to strap it on to the second half if you're going to beat Georgia. Because that team in the second half, defensively, good luck. You know, you better get on them quick, because if you don't, as the game wears on, you're going to struggle.
If you made me pick today, I put Indiana and Georgia in the
I would too.
In the title
I
game.
would too.
Indiana would have to beat Alabama or Oklahoma, and then Texas Tech or Oregon likely.
Those early games are going to be good games. I mean, I'm not talking about the two with Tulane and James Madison, and mainly the Alabama-Oklahoma game. That's going to be a good game.
Oregon's got didn't they get blown out by Indiana?
I think so, yeah, like 60-something to 7.
Anytime you have these rematch games, like, listen, I thought Alabama would have a really tough time with Georgia before they played the game, because you have two good teams and a team that's as good as Georgia, and you embarrass them at home. What do you think it's going to be like when you play in their backyard, Atlanta, for the SEC championship? One team is going to have no problem. I mean, it just works that way. I'm not saying Alabama couldn't get up for the game, but, you know, when you get a focused bunch like, and maybe Oregon will be the same way if they play Indiana again, or maybe Indiana's just too good. But, like, Alabama really never had a shot in that game against Georgia. But they look like the two best teams to me, Georgia and Indiana.
We underestimate the home field advantage Georgia enjoys playing in the
we don't
Georgia
think about
Dome
it.
or Mercedes-Benz, whatever it's called now. Yes, it's we're just so used to it now, it never even comes up. But it is very much a Georgia crowd anytime they play there, and whoever's got to play them there when if they have to play him there, that's a tough game to win.
But let's go back to Kentucky. Let's talk about their misery for a second.
All right.
Bart, what's wrong with Kentucky's basketball team?
Well, they're just not very good, Bo.
Well, they spent a lot of money on the roster.
Yeah,
They're
but
just not very good.
they spend a lot of money on guys who don't fit together and who aren't, frankly, SEC quality. And like they don't have SEC quality starters. They have some guys who would be really good bench pieces at a lot of places.
Is Oweh their best player?
Yeah, I think so, and that's a problem, man.
Like
they're flat. Like they just completely misevaluated. I think misevaluated talent. Paid so much money to get those guys in, and now it's like, well, this is what we got, and it's not very good.
I want to go back to this soundbite from Mark Pope, and I'm just going to play the very beginning of it. Okay, remember how excited Mark Pope was to be the Kentucky coach last year, and why wouldn't you be? Former player. Everything's positive about Mark Pope, right? And he comes in and he's got a good roster and things go okay. And they actually propelled Arkansas season by giving them the opportunity to go into Rupp and beat them. And that flipped Arkansas season, and they had a really good year from there. But everything was great for Mark Pope last year. You can hear the intense scrutiny and pressure and how it's absolutely destroying the man in the first 3 seconds of this.
I don't have a great answer for you other than...
he's just deep breath.
Sounds like Jerry Palm on our show.
Collecting himself.
I was going to say, then he proceeded over the next 12 seconds to prove that he did not have a good answer. And look, I feel for the guy.
I do too.
I like Mark Pope. I don't think he's a bad guy.
No.
I just think
This is about the Kentucky fans.
This is about people. I hate to say getting what they deserve, but maybe that is what you say in a situation like this. It's. Lots of places have done it before. Programs that aren't as blue blood as Kentucky in basketball. People have done it in football. We've run our share off in football. People do it all the time. And it seems like the right thing to do at the time. It makes perfect sense at the time in your head. And then a couple of years down the road, it's like, boy, what were we thinking? What were we thinking? And Kentucky's kind of going through that right now. What's going to happen when Cal beats them a second year in a row if that happens?
Well, wouldn't that be great?
What's going to happen if Cal gets them in Bud Walton Arena and just drills them? They just got to thinking it was them. And sometimes the coach and the players really do have something to do with it. Sometimes the coach really knows what he's doing.
Well, what he built there, you don't just carry on. The way that he does things, and the way that we're in this transient nature of college basketball, you got to be able to do your own thing. And I don't know anything about Kentucky other than this is what it looks like to me, that they decided they were going to continue to have great players. Cal did it through recruiting and a little bit of the portal, but most of his tenure there was about recruiting, being a top 3 or 4 class every year. First-round draft picks every year. Freshman first-round draft picks every year that he was there. And it looked like when they got Pope, they weren't going to be able to do that without a lot of money. So they put a lot of money into NIL, per Bart's point earlier, and they bought players. And that alone doesn't work. Like Texas Tech, this is working. And I think part of it is because their coach hasn't just done it with money. He's built a culture and gotten the right guys to fit that culture. And they seem together as a team. Some of these teams that are loaded with money, they don't come together like that. Cal's great at doing that.
Kentucky had a good culture before. They just didn't realize it. They weren't winning the national championship every year, so there's something wrong. There's got to be something wrong. There wasn't anything wrong. And it goes to show you, I think, sometimes we all fall into this. You start making decisions based on your feels.
And that's all fandom is.
You can get
It's
yourself
emotion.
in trouble.
It's all emotion.
I think Kentucky got to making some decisions in terms of their basketball on their feels. And that's part of the reason
you got to
they
have
are
a
where they
leader,
are.
as an athletic director in those places, you got to have a leader that can withstand all that stuff. And that's hard to do.
Well, when Cal came in and said administrations win championships, it was pretty obvious who he was talking to. Not just who he was talking about, who he was talking to. My sense is that, a lot of the things that the situation he finds himself in here is, in at least in certain ways, a lot better than he had it there.
Chevy Fayetteville situation room. Bart's sitting on something here.
Well, just to kind of sum it up, guys. Like, there's Kentucky's starting point guard Denzel Aberdeen was Florida's backup point guard last year.
Yeah, I remember him.
And he's starting for Kentucky this year, right? Like, and look, let's not act like they don't have injuries. They do. Diabate's hurt. He's a starter for them, but he was a backup at Alabama the past 2 years, right? They went out and spent a bunch of money on guys who were backups in this league last year, and now have them as starters. Their bigs just aren't very good. Their roster's just not very good.
It's not elite. It's not elite.
Right. They've got talent, certainly, but the pieces don't fit well together, and these guys were backups in this league for a reason.
All right, we'll take a break. It's 8:17. It's a Reaction Monday. More headlines from the weekend to get into. Any thoughts you have reacting to whatever happened over the weekend? Good morning. The Chuck and Bo Show on a Monday. I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but this is a blast for me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
think you're on anybody's like pickup list at school?
No.
Chuck Barrett able to pick up my kid.
No, that I doubt that.
I'm gonna write you in.
All right, good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
National Brownie Day. I like a good brownie. You guys like brownies?
I do.
I would have thought Bart might have made.
I like some
Absolutely.
crunch in the brownie.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, some people are
added texture.
Yeah, like walnuts,
pecan maybe. Something like that.
Yeah, you don't like
Really?
walnuts or almonds or that's just
Why
a
would
part
you
of
put walnuts?
What
in
about you,
brownie?
Bart?
I just told you why. The same reason you would go to Three Crazy Berry or one of these yogurt places, frozen yogurt, and put like that kind of topping on it. You like crunch. The kale crunch salad at Chick-fil-A would be awful without any crunch in it to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's not called a crunch brownie or like a brownie crunch.
I like some crunch.
What about like a chocolate chip in the brownie? Is that enough?
That's
for
great
you?
too.
Okay.
That's great too. But I mean,
There's nothing
think-
I hate more than getting a dessert and there's like walnuts in it. It's like ridiculous.
See, that's just where we differ.
I think that's an age.
We got
thing.
a park company right there.
I think that's an age thing.
I mean, it's been great, but we got a park company.
When we get some sort
Yeah.
of whatever Friendsgiving thing going, you are not in charge of the dessert.
No.
No, I mean, you got to have some crunch in there with the sweet. Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
Why?
It's just what I like.
Texture.
Yeah, it's the cookies the same way.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like, you can get a chocolate chip cookie, but if you get some crunch in there with it, some walnuts or whatever.
That's disgusting.
It's amazing.
That's foul.
Go to Roost Chris, Edward. Take Hannah to Roost Chris and get that sweet potato casserole and tell me you don't enjoy the crunch in that.
What is crunchy in a sweet potato casserole?
The little nuts they put on top.
Well, she's not going to like it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That's going to be bad news for me.
I'm
if I
not
give her
gonna
a sweet
listen,
potato casserole
you
with
can't,
nuts
you
in
can't,
it.
you can't convince somebody, of something.
What do
that-
you not put nuts in? I mean, you put it on everything?
No, but like it always adds to dessert.
I think that's a bad food opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're just.
Do you like trail mix?
I think yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean,
totally different thing.
It
That's a
is.
totally
It
different
is, but
thing.
you've got like sweet and crunchy in there.
Yeah,
what
that's
I like.
great.
Yeah.
It's not a baked item.
But what if
that
it
you're
was?
putting?
But what if it was? What if it was? Now you're on
I
to
bet
something.
Bart could find a way to do baked trail mix.
Hey, that's an idea.
I don't know.
That's something
Oven
everybody.
roasted.
That's something everybody could enjoy.
Yeah.
Bart,
I want to
get on it.
I want to talk about Weicker Realtors,
Well,
the
they-
Griffin
yeah.
Company, just for not
They
that
know
your
how to-
discussion on nuts and brownies
There's-
and potato casserole and all that stuff was
Potato
not
casserole.
really good.
And nuts in your potato casserole.
Yeah, whatever it is you guys are talking about.
whatever that is.
I do know this. If you're buying or selling a home, Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company is the name you need to remember. People get into the home buying or home selling business for different reasons. I mean, sometimes you got to move. You've been transferred. It's time to go. Got to sell your house. Got to find a new one somewhere else. Sometimes you're downsizing. Sometimes you're upsizing. Sometimes it's your first time out. Whatever your situation, you're going to find a true partner with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. And I suspect if you partner with them the first time out, they'll be your partners forever. That, generally speaking, is what happens. It's why they've been turning houses into homes since 1978. Got offices in Northwest Arkansas, Washington, and Benton counties. They're in Fort Smith. They're in the Branson area. They do have a wide selection of homes, and you can see them all at WeicherGriffin.com.
All right, what have we not hit in the headlines? We've got lines out for the first round games. Alabama's minus 1.5 at Oklahoma. Texas A&M minus 4 against Miami, hosting Miami. Ole Miss hosting Tulane is a 17-point favorite.
Wow, a playoff game with a 17-point spread.
And Oregon hosting James Madison is even worse.
What's it?
20.5.
20.5 in a playoff game. Wow.
And Kenny's brother, Bob Chesney, is going to coach the James Madison team.
Who's the other guy?
Eugene.
Sumrall's coaching his team.
Yeah.
All the way through, isn't he?
Yeah.
But not Lane
Boy,
Kiffin.
Summerall, I know he's a good coach. He comes off a little, he's got a touch of narcissism.
Yeah. I watched his press conference.
When I come in a room, it gets better.
Yeah, that's
He
hey,
said that.
These guys hit the jackpot now, and I'm not saying that. I'm not begrudging anyone hitting the jackpot. That's great.
I'd like to hit the jackpot.
But I think, I would too. But I think that you look at all these guys in that conference, ours included. They got big pay raises. Yeah. I mean, double and triple what they were making before. And
the guys behind them that are getting the jobs now, they're also getting big pay raises.
Yeah, it's so it's
a lot of people out there making money, Chuck.
Everybody's getting rich but us.
Everybody's
getting rich but me. That's what I'm mad about. I don't know, but I do think that a lot of these guys are taking big steps, and the ones that are successful, people are going to say, "Man, I saw it coming all along," and the ones that don't, it's going to be, "Well, what'd you expect?" I mean, you hired a guy from a small conference. So,
hey, how much was Kirk Cignetti making as the James Madison head coach? I know you can find out
what he's making now
in mere moments in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, Bart. And I'll just tell you that Chevy of Fayetteville has year-end deals going on right now. Biggest discounts of the year. Enjoy rates as low as 0% going out at Chevy of Fayetteville right now. Go say hi to Chris, Mark, Denver, and the gang. Together, let's drive. Chevy of Fayetteville. He just signed basically a $100 million deal, right?
He was making, in 2023 at James Madison, he was making $677,000.
Now, a lot of people would like to make that kind of money.
Certainly.
But now he's making north of $10 million a year, right?
Correct.
And the thing about Cignetti is he was not.
Big jump.
Yeah, it's all right.
All these guys that are making the jump now, they're relatively young. All of them are under 50, I think. Cignetti'd been around this game a long time before he got that Indiana job. I mean, this guy's my age. I mean, he's 60-something. And he's just now emerging on the scene. So he got to the game late, at least in terms of the big money and the main stage. But he's not intent on leaving.
Does he scare you? If I run into him at a college football playoff game, he doesn't seem incredibly approachable.
Well, you better not give him a reason to make a smart aleck remark, because if you do, he's probably going to fire a dart. I mean, that's just kind of how he is. He does not miss an opportunity to throw a line out there. I think he's really good at it. He is now, you forget, Cignetti has worked for some of the best coaches out there. People make a lot of Lane Kiffin and his time with Nick Saban. Cignetti was on that, he was on that Alabama staff for a good while as well. And he's been around great programs. He just never got a shot to be the guy until at an age when most coaches would not do it. He took a pay cut. He took a pay cut from being an assistant coach to go be a head coach. And that's how bad he wanted to do it. It sure paid off.
Sure did. December 8th, we're running out of time to shop for the holiday season. If you're Christmas shopping, Blakeman's purple bag is unmistakable, and it belongs under every Christmas tree. When you see that purple bag, you know something special in there. Everybody gets excited. Nothing says, "I love you," like a little sparkle from Blakeman's. Perfect for Christmas. The Diamond Experts. It's where Arkansas gets engaged. It's where I did. It's 8:30 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're just kind of wading through it, figuring it out with you this morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey folks, Chuck Barrett here, the voice of the Razorbacks. And if you're ready for freedom from glasses or contacts, there's only one name you need to know: McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's LASIK, clear lens exchange, or advanced cataract surgery, they've got the solution to help you see your best, no matter your age. Doctors Betts and Mangarelli are the real deal, two of the most experienced surgeons anywhere. They've even taken care of my eyes. And now I'm seeing the basketball court crystal clear. I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye, and you will be too.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge. Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
you enjoy fake AI generated stories,
I do,
and getting scammed on the internet, Facebook is for you.
That's what I like. That's what I want.
Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And that's going to be the end of the ball game. 5 seconds to play, 4 seconds to play. This one is in the books, and the Razorbacks have come to North Little Rock and beaten Fresno State by a final of 82-58.
Chuck on the dramatic finish to the game there.
Yeah, that's how you close out a 24-point blowout right there, boys.
On the Razorback Sports Network. I did appreciate whomever turned the shot clock off when there was a half-second differential or whatever.
Yes. That was just kind of done unilaterally there.
That was smart. That was a good decision for everybody
but
involved.
It confused everybody out there. And, hey, Acuff comes over after the game and goes, hey, they're not going to stat me a turnover there, are they? Seriously. These guys, they pay attention to that stuff. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. It actually, you could see the confusion on the faces of some of the players out there when they took that half second away. Because Acuff, you could tell, he wasn't quite sure what Cal wanted him to do with that half second out there. And then when they took it away, got academic.
That helped. He had 18 points.
Yeah, but then he threw the ball to the guy with about 4 seconds left. And the guy started going down the other end of the floor, and he's wanting to make sure he didn't get statted a turnover.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I understand that.
Yeah, well, it's like the half-court
That's
shots
the game within the game,
half.
man. That's why NBA players don't like doing that because it goes against their percentage.
That's what people look at.
That's what people get paid on.
They do. They just look at that.
Yeah.
They don't say, well, three of those missed three-pointers were half-court shots at the end of the half.
There are lots of players in the NBA who will not shoot that shot at the buzzer because they don't want it to go against their shooting percentage.
So Arkansas's got a week off here, and then they go to, when I say off, I just mean they don't have a game until they play in Dallas against Texas Tech in that big rematch of the Sweet 16 last year.
Yeah. Texas Tech's lost some players. Arkansas has some players back, and we'll see how it goes.
American Airlines Arena or Center is set for 11 a.m., and the game will be on ESPN2.
Think about
Saturday.
what's going to happen in that building. Friday night, the Mavericks and the Nets are going to play. At 11 o'clock the next morning, the Razorbacks are going to play. And then that night, the hockey team's going to play. The Dallas Stars are going to play. They know how to make money off these buildings now. I mean, they've got stuff going on every day, every night. Somebody's paying rent.
That's getting it done.
Yeah, it is getting it done.
That is absolutely getting after it. Speaking of that, Nick Saban on James Madison and Tulane being in the playoff. Sterling called earlier and said, hey, we knew what the rules were going in. I mean, so, this is the way it ended up having to be. Although you could make an argument that Duke should be in over James Madison. But I
hadn't thought about that, but I guess you could.
They didn't have them ranked in the top 25. They didn't have Duke in the top 25. So they would have had to put them in the top 25 and ahead of James Madison, which apparently they were unable or unwilling to do. Here's Nick Saban.
And for years now, we have kept tweaking the criteria of how we select teams to be in the playoff, whether it was a 2-team BCS, whether it's a 4-team playoff, and now a 12-team playoff. But really, I think that you're going to have 2 teams in the playoff, no disrespect to the group of 5, that are nowhere near ranked as highly as some other teams that are much better than them. And I think that maybe something that we can learn from this, because, to me, this has got to be devastating for Notre Dame's team, not to get an opportunity to play in the playoffs, that we can learn something from this that will help us come up with a little better criteria of trying to make sure we get the best 12 teams in the playoff, and also address this whole idea of conference championship games and also the tiebreakers that get you in the conference championship game, and each conference has a significant impact, on what happens in this whole thing.
I just need somebody to really explain to me and articulate to me why we had to include a group of 5 conference champion.
We've got to get past that mentality, just like, everybody's got to be included. Everybody, and I'm not saying don't be inclusive. I realize as a soundbite that sounds really bad. We've got to get over this idea that everybody's got to be included. What you've got to get past is the fact that inclusion's got to be earned. This smacks of participation trophy. And it just because you're a conference champion I'm sorry, that doesn't make you among the 12 best teams in the country, and it does not entitle you to be in a tournament that's going to determine the national champion.
The mere fact that you have to include them because they're not going to otherwise be able to have a resume worthy of being in on its own should be enough to realize that's a bad idea.
Well, you'd have to go all the way back, and this is a whole different subject, but a lot of these schools should not be competing at the FBS level to begin with because they're not going to win championships at the FBS level. The reason they're doing it is for the money. You put some of these smaller schools in a tournament, some of these, basketball analogy, mid-major, you put those guys in a football tournament, you'd have a hell of a tournament. I mean, you really would. You'd have good football. And somebody would get to raise a championship trophy at the end. In a way, I feel bad for these schools because, what do they got to do? They got to go 13-0, 12-1. We're never going to be included. I get why they are frustrated, but by the same token, the idea that they should be included just because they raised a conference championship trophy, no. That's not why we're here, I wouldn't think.
And like we've talked about with football, you don't have the same chance as you do in basketball to be a Cinderella.
No.
It's just a different game. One more from Saban, because we love hearing Saban talk football.
No question about the fact that I think we need to have a commissioner who's kind of over all the conferences, as well as a competition committee who sort of defines the rules of how we're going to play the game, because that's what we don't have right now. We used to have contracts for coaches and for players that define what's your academic responsibilities, when can you transfer, what's your obligation to the school. We don't have that now. Yeah. And if you really don't support that, you're kind of supporting a little bit of anarchy, which is what we have right now, whether it's coaches or players. So I think having a commissioner, national commissioner, having a governing body certainly would enhance, because I do think that the college football playoff has kind of camouflaged some of these issues because there's so much interest in college football because of the playoff.
Great point.
But the underlying problem in terms of level of comp for everybody is probably something that needs to be addressed quickly.
Sometimes you need someone to save you from yourselves. And coaches, I hear coaches talking about, the calendar's all screwed up. Well, they're the ones that voted for it. They're the ones that have basically set whatever calendar they've wanted. It's been rubber stamped, and it's basically their deal. A commissioner has a chance to maybe stop all that. The coaches aren't right all the time, and the players aren't right all the time. And somebody's got to determine, perhaps who's closer to being right than the other. But a lot of the things that are going on right now, when I hear, and look, I like Saban, and I think Saban would be a great commissioner. But a lot of it is a save us from ourselves perspective, because they could have avoided a lot of this. But again, a lot of the things that are going on right now are rules these people themselves voted on.
Yeah. And if you don't have what he's talking about, it's but we've just moved where you've got so many people making choices that everybody's voting on, but it's their own self-interest, and it's not the best of the game.
Right.
It's not the best for college football. And that's the difference in what he's talking about. We've been talking about it forever. But how do we get there? Will we get there? I don't know.
Oh, we wouldn't have anything to talk about if we ever got
college
there.
College football is anything more talked about in sports from a conversation standpoint. And really, it's the controversy. It's the subjectivity. It's college football.
Well, he's right when he says the college football playoff has covered up a lot of these other things, because, we can talk about, this is wrong, that's wrong, they could do this better. But then we always come back to, man, isn't this great? I mean, college football has never been more exciting, from a fan's perspective. So I don't know how much real incentive they've got to fix things.
Coaching searches and the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. The hot stove league is just as good as the regular season. Hey, hog trough gutters. We've had a lot of rain lately, a lot of leaves lately. Maybe you've had gutter issues. This is the time of year when that can happen. Hog trough gutters is the answer. Now, look, when you're having work done on your home, particularly work like this, you want to deal with somebody that you know is going to be there, that's going to back up their work, isn't going to take your cash and skip town. That goes on a lot this time of year. Hogtroft Gutters is locally owned and operated. They've been here for 30 years. You can take a picture on your cell phone, text it to them, give them an idea about what your situation is. Sometimes they can answer your question right there. Sometimes they need to have somebody come out. Sometimes it needs to be a whole new big job, and they can handle that as well. But check out the work that they've done. You can go online at hoggutters.com.
You really make me want to call you a moron. I'm not going to do that, but I want to.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroft Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroft, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville. Distribution Solutions Incorporated began providing superior customer service back in 1997 based out of Harrison, Arkansas, and they're supporting our local communities today and always looking for professional OTR drivers. DSI knows drivers by name. They're about their people, and when you work with DSI, it feels more like a family than a job, and they know home time matters. If you're a driver, check out their website, drivedsi.com. All the benefits, all the vacation time, and that home time that matters.
Hold on, guys. I'm on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hold on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
and I include myself in this, we like to think we know what we're talking about, but sometimes we do miss the mark. I mean, sometimes we do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Not Bart.
I got two things to say. Besides all the thank yous, our assistant coaches, our team, our seniors, our fans, all right? We are Big Ten champions. And you talk about changing the way people think. I got 3.5 weeks to get this team humble and hungry for the playoffs.
Curt Cignetti.
I'll bet he does it. I'll bet he gets them humbled. And I'll bet they'll be hungry by the time they play again.
Yeah. 3 weeks to get them humbled and hungry for the playoffs. I think they got a chance to win it all.
Well, and that's why he's not saying things like Google me now. I mean, a lot of that talk when you get there. I mean, you tend to focus on business a lot more, and that struck me after the game that. Everybody was waiting on him to give one of those great quotes because Cignetti's a quote machine. But it was a lot of coach speak when it was over.
Oh, yeah. He knows how to do it
absolutely.
On both sides of it.
He's not going to make anybody else mad right now.
Been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were talking about this before we came back on, that Indiana's a much bigger state than Arkansas.
Yeah, I was. You hear, well, if they can do it there, they can do it anywhere. And I was just kind of looking at the numbers. I was comparing it to our state. Indiana's got 6.7 million people in it. We've got just a shade over 3. Their median income's about $15,000 a year more than ours. They've obviously got a huge metropolitan center in Indianapolis. And it's just, things are so, it's a numbers game. And when you've got, in the case of Indiana and Arkansas, over twice as many people, when your median income is well in excess of what another place's is, I mean, just the numbers. I mean, you're going to do better. Unless you just completely screw it up, you're going to do better. And there are just some things you can't overcome. Indiana, though, when you really compare them with the other Big Ten states, population, median income, metropolitan areas, they compare pretty well. I mean, they really do.
By the way, the most interesting thing I saw over the weekend, there were a lot of things, but including the onesies, the pajama onesies that grown adults were wearing at the Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center, where the committee was meeting to decide the 12 playoff teams. I don't know if you've ever been to the Gaylord, but it is an experience.
Been to the one in Nashville.
And so I'm there trying to work, and at the same time, I'm in a gaggle of, Christmas holiday cheer. But adults wearing onesies. Like they dress up and they get the kids and the stroller and the whatever, and they go make gingerbread houses in the lobby. When I say lobby, it's a giant atrium. But anyhow, beyond that being interesting to me, Virginia Tech's coach that they fired, Brent Pry, is just changing offices in the football facility. He's going to work for James Franklin as his defensive coordinator.
It's hard to sell your house sometimes, man. I mean,
Weichert needs to go.
Evidently, Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, needs to get up there and help him sell his house.
I mean, is that just not that's on? I don't want to say it's unprecedented, but it's highly unusual.
Like that,
I can't remember seeing it. I thought it was wild when Petrino came back here to be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I did too.
That's on a whole other level right there. Going to be mid-40s today. Have a great Monday. We'll try again tomorrow.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.